Hello everyone, welcome back to Barcast TV and to another high-level 1v1 replay. Today we have two new players to the channel, I believe, and let's go ahead and introduce them as we get into the game. So, spawning on the right side of the map, playing as a blue pieces, it's izirayd. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name right. And his opponent on the left side of the map, playing as the red pieces, it's Rock. So definitely realized that I need to have a proper open for this game. I actually played izirayd in a lot of games yesterday. He beat me every single time, different strategies, and I think I think I'm gonna be posting a mastering the early game for Comet Catcher. So if y'all want to see something like that, let me know in the comment section. Let me know in that like button if y'all want to see some more of those videos. They don't do quite as well as some of my other replays, but you know, I kind of make those more for myself just because I want opens for all these different maps. So thank you to all of you who have been liking and subscribing to the videos. I really appreciate it. Helps the channel grow and lets me know what to focus on, so thank you for that. Let me introduce the map as these two players get into their opening builds. This is Comet Catcher, which was featured in the latest tournament, Alpha Championship, and it's definitely a great 4v4 map. A lot of mexes, a lot of open space to maneuver around the map, and you can get some proper macro games on here. So typically these games don't end too soon, and I just want to comment on how greedy this man played. You know, he just goes two mexes and then walks over to his third mex. Just you don't see that LLT that you see a lot of players make, and that it gets him so far ahead. I mean, look at Tag Rock here. He went for the double mex P-gen into LLT, walks over here, and starts caps the third mex and starts his land factory. Or excuse me, vehicle plant. And his opponent just totally forgoes that, so he gets this up so much faster. He already has one of these construction bots out. izirayd is added on this engineer. So he goes construction bot into double rascal construction bot. And just adding on these two extra powers. So he's putting this rascal in the back of his base. He wants to prevent the run by from getting those mexes And we see three of these rascals out on the board already for Tag Rock, so he really wants to try and get some damage done. Looks like izirayd is already in position with this rascal, so great job preventing those run-bys, preventing that counter damage. And we can see goes into double construction bot and then walks with his commander to start expanding, so pretty cool to see. Let's take a look at his opponent. Rock just has the one construction bot out. Still has the same radar up, so great job with these early radars. I love seeing that from players, and is already walking outside of the main base with his commander. And I really like this mex placement. It looks like he built this one a little farther forward. This mex farther forward, closer to this mex, and I think that's going to allow him to do is place an LOT here that can protect these two a lot better. That's an interesting placement. I'm definitely going to take that for myself. That's a great job. I'm going to turn off this player view. Yeah, we can see how much farther these two mexes are away from each other. And even this LLT, I don't think his intention was to cover these two mexes as much as it was to cover that little, cover that alley. So I heard a rascal go down. That's going to trigger izirayd to move across the map. He's got a couple incisors out, about 5 scouts, and we can see he's moving onto his opponent's side of the map. Trying to find where the weakness is, trying to find the damage, and looks like Rock rotated back to his main base with his commander. He's just adding on extra power, and is going to be defending this northern construction bot. He's trying to get these expansions up. He's trying to cap these mechs, add on another LLT, and we already see izirayd is moving behind the main base here with one of these scouts, but he's going to be picked off, I believe, by this LLT. Let's see if he's able to. Nope, catches it with his own rascal. So great job picking off that early raid, and we see more raiding scouts here on the bottom side of the map, rotating back behind Rock's base. So we'll see if he's able to defend against that. Takes out one of those blitzes that are standing in front of his main with his commander. And is just trying to protect against these harassments. So great job, izirayd, not losing those scouts. Just trying to shark around, trying to find where the weakness is, and has 5 more blitzes on the way. So this is a pretty sizable amount of blitzes already on the map here, combined with these rascals. And we see that Rock is trying to move into position. He senses this incoming attack and is moving into position to try and counter it. So This is a great job catching out these 2 lone tanks here before the majority of the forces get back. And we see 6 tank versus 3 for now. It's going to be a great little trade. Takes out 1, 2, 3 tanks. Just loses 1 of his own, so great job. But meanwhile, in the middle of the map, izirayd has already moved out. He's got his forward LLT, setting up extra power, forward, and a forward light laser tower. So great job. We see those scouts finally get cleaned up. Not going to get any more rating damage done. And we see Rock is punching back. He's moving on to his opponent's side of the map. He's got these 3 blitzes, but he's going to have to turn around here. He can't really contest against these numbers, and takes out 1 blitz on the retreat. So great job. Take a look at both player views here. See Rock. He's got these 2 expanding engineers, not really going for these top and bottom-most extremities, just morely pushing into the middle of the map here. So he's trying to get this reclaim with 1 construction bot. And we see already 3 construction bots assisting this land factory. So good job getting that build power into your factory, trying to spend that mass. We see he's got a little bit in the bank, but not too bad. Meanwhile, his opponent, take a look at the main base. Just has these 2 construction bot, is adding on a construction turret finally. Got a little engagement here on Rock's side of the map. These blitzes are just pulling back a little bit. You really can't chase your opponent with a larger number of tanks, so he's going to end up losing a couple of those. Rock's going to end up losing a couple tanks for free there. And already izirayd has moved so far into the middle of the map. He's setting up an LLT. He's capped several mexes walking here. And this is kind of the hallmark of his playstyle. He likes to make a factory in the middle of the map. We'll see if he goes for it again this game. Just makes a factory right in front of your production. Yeah, and there it is, queued up. Another bot lab. Now to get that production so far forward. It's crazy how fast he's able to get these up. Meanwhile, Rock trying to shoo away this little run by here. He's got 1 construction bot moving into the middle of the map. 2 more, and he's going to be able to spot this engineer or this commander of izirayd pretty soon. You have LLT walls going up in front of each other. And both players are completely neglecting the expansions north and south of their starting positions. They're just trying to get into the middle of the map. Trying to vie for that position here. So we see Rock's moving a pretty sizable amount of blitzes. He got 6 blitzes and 1 scout moving onto izirayd's side of the map. Trying to look for some expanding engineers. Some of that free damage. We see 1 LLT going up here. Is he going to spot that? Yeah, he's going to rotate up. He's going to catch this construction bot. He's going to be able to take out this LLT. See, he turns around. Trying to target, trying to get this engineer. Picks it off and just completely moves back onto his side of the map. So great job. I hear a little engagement going on to Rock's side of the map. He is able to clean up this little run by, this incisor wreckage, and instantly reclaims it. And is going to be going back to expanding with that engineer. So great job. Meanwhile, izirayd is making res bots out of a factory on his opponent's side of the map. This is classic. Great job being so aggressive with those factory placements. Really interesting to see this playstyle. And we have some light tanks moving into the back of izirayd's expansion here. He's gonna run into this LLT, but not before taking down a mex of his own. He's gonna be able to get this LLT. He's gonna find the radar. I don't think he's gonna stick around to get those solar collectors. And we see this LLT is in range of one of these solar collectors, so that's gonna go down. Somehow it stopped shooting. I'm not sure entirely why. And still we have 1 incisor here. Or sorry, 1 blitz taking out another mech. So great job using those units, trying to get the most mass, trying to get the most payment out of them as we can. Most cost efficiency. And we see this little push forming on the top side of the map. We have a group of blitzes, incisors, excuse me. 10 incisors moving onto the north side of Rock's side of the base, side of the map. He's trying to stop them with scouts. Those are not effective against tanks, my friend. And he's going to run into 1 LLT, but you can just run past this. You don't have to take the engagement. He decides against it, turns south, runs into more LLTs. I don't think he was expecting that to be there, but he really wants to clear out this forward expansion away from his base. And we see we already have this thug production coming out of this forward bot lab, so this pressure is going to start mounting more and more. Thugs and blitzes are on the table. Meanwhile, Rock's mixed in these medium assault tanks into his army composition, so those have a lot more health than those incisors. You're able to stand toe-to-toe against these thugs. But they don't have the damage output. Thugs have high HP themselves, and looks like he's going to try and clear Rock out of this position, or izirayd out of this position, but not with the commander standing here. D-gun goes off, takes out 2 tanks, backs away from that LOT, and we have a construction bot that was rather ambitiously trying to create a Captus Mex right here inside of the in front of the factory. That's not going to work out too well for him. You see Rock desperately trying to get more tanks onto the map. He's foregoing these stouts and just wants to produce more and more blitzes. So let's see how this works for him. You have 4 thugs so close to the production of Rock, and this reclaim field sitting right in front of the factory. So his commander is already trying to suck up that mass. See this counter damage going down, taking in an LOT, taking out a couple tanks, a couple mexes, and I don't think he's done getting damage. He's going to run into one of the brutes of izirayd. He's going to turn around, head south, trying to shave off these extra expansions here. But meanwhile, in the middle of the board, a couple of thugs go down to the blitzes. I think Rock just wants this mobility of these blitzes here. Here's some shots going down. Looks like we got a raid on the south side of the map. Takes out a LOT, expanding engineer, and a couple mexes, and he's going to get behind the main base. So it's going to distract Rock. He's going to pull some of his units back, protecting his economy. And meanwhile, on izirayd's side of the board, we still have this run by from Rock. These brutes are hard to take down, and if they're moving and shooting, you can't catch up to them in time. So he's going to scoot past his opponent. izirayd really has to get in front of these units to take them out, and Rock's going after an expansion that's not there. His opponent is completely neglecting that south side of the map and just expanding to the north side and into the middle of the board. So he's got this very isolated commander, though. He's able to suck up all that mass, though. Take a look at the statistics. We have relatively even game. Rock is up by about 1,400 mass so far, so good job. I think that's from just out-expanding his opponent. You can see he has his top side of the board already expanded too. He's got LOTs up. And his lone little blitz is going to go down to Rock's forces. And still, this run by is moved behind to the main base of izirayd, but he has a lot of tanks in position. I think he's going to be able to clear this up. He's finally gotten in range of his opponent, and if he's able to move with him, yeah, he splits off some of his forces. He just needs to clean up this one last tank, and I'm sure he'll be able to run that down. Meanwhile, I have a big group of blitzes, 16 blitzes moving back onto izirayd's side of the map. So let's see how he's able to counter this offensive here. Takes out 2 blitzes, 1 blitz, and he's going to move to the north side of the map. He cleared out the south side. We have even more blitzes running. This is a lot of good counter damage here. Totally isolating izirayd's commander. He's going to take out this construction bot, take up that expansion. And we can see izirayd's commander is completely surrounded right now, so kind of a precarious situation. He's just continuing to make these thugs, but he got an extra little bit of build power out. He's moving his commander out. Sure, he wants to cap those mexes and just get that reclaim. We have this huge force of blitzes, 23 blitzes and 1 stout just above the main base of izirayd. He can pick a fight if he wanted one, but we already have 1 pounder out. Just do great AoE damage. These are so effective. And 220 mass. Very slow moving though. They do area of effect damage. Let's see how much damage they can do to these stacked up blitzes. 1 shot goes off, misses. 2 shots. You can see it damages 4 tanks at one time. 3 shotting tanks. That's great damage. So we have blitzes back in the main base of izirayd. This is not what you want. Meanwhile, we have an engagement on Rock's side of the base. This commander is being so aggressive, stepping forward. He's trying to get that D-gun off, but Rock's not going to let him. Backs up, guiding this commander very well. The D-gun has such a short range. Take a look back at the main base of izirayd. Still have this run by going, and yeah, the commander's going to go down. So great job, Rock. Taking out the commander, dealing with that really aggressive playstyle very well. He's just constantly rotating around and started off with the vehicle plant. So good things to note. Still, I like the open of izirayd here. He was able to just caps these mexes and just walks over to the third one. And you see a lot of players would go for the solar collector and LLT on this map before moving and trying to cap the third mex and getting their factory down. But nope, just plays really greedy. I like that style. Make your opponent react to it properly. If he doesn't raid you well enough, then you're just going to have an advantage in the early game. So pretty cool to see. Just want to say thanks for watching all, and I'll see you in the next video.